DaVinci Resolve on the iPad is here. We're going to talk about it, and you need to stick around because I'm going to give away a pack of free presets and plugins that work on the iPad inside DaVinci Resolve. Pretty sure this is going to be the first of its kind floating out there. It's going to be cool. I've tested them. Should be all good. We'll talk about that more later, but for now, let's jump in. And I say jump in, we're going to walk through the whole process. I did have access to the beta for Resolve, but I've wiped that so we can go through the normal installation process. Open up the App Store, just search for Resolve, should do it. And, oh, there's lots of Resolves. Let's go. DaVinci Resolve. Okay. I might be getting up there. I'm going to search just for the Blackmagic Design Inc. Because they are the ones who made it, and go through their publisher, and hey, DaVinci Resolve for iPad, I'm going to download it. I think it had that icon because I had the beta previously. This is new on the App Store, so I'm sure very soon you should have much better luck just searching for Resolve or DaVinci Resolve. But the full name, DaVinci Resolve for iPad. I'm going to let that do its thing and download. And while this is downloading, let's talk about some surface level things we've known. Again, there won't be any like big surprises here. We've known what's coming. They've been pretty upfront with their plans. Lots of reasons to be excited about the future of Resolve on this platform. Big things out of the way first. Yes, right now, DaVinci Resolve on the iPad will just be the cut and color pages. And those pages are the pages that exist in the full version of the software. So if you're wondering, hey, can I do this specific thing in DaVinci Resolve on the iPad, the question you're really asking is, can I do that thing on the cut page? And there's a fair amount of things that right now you can't do on the cut page. But especially in the statement they put out a little while ago on their Facebook page that I talked about in another video, they are well aware of the limitations to the cut page. And for everyone who just says, hey, just bring over the edit page, they have said their plan is not to bring over the edit page, as that is solely intended to be used with a mouse and keyboard, and they want the iPad to be as touch accessible as they can be pretty much all the time. So while you can use a mouse and keyboard on the cut page, and there are some things you can only do with a mouse and keyboard, and it does work on the speed editor. We'll hopefully test that out soon too. Right now, the plan is to go all in on the cut page. And I absolutely anticipate the cut page will dramatically change over the next couple of months, maybe a year, as a lot of core editing features do get pulled to the cut page, primarily so that like on the iPad it is as powerful as it can be. Because don't be mistaken, the power in the hardware is there. I've said in a previous video, it's kind of shocking when you load up Resolve and there isn't like too much big, flashy and exciting. It's just Resolve just in a different place, and you can take it up, go anywhere, use a pen, all that stuff. It's wild. So that's the big news, just cut and color. But of course, the other sort of title feature is that because this is in part the full Resolve, as weird as that sounds, DaVinci Resolve project files, DaVinci Resolve timeline files, and DaVinci Resolve archive files, yes, there are differences a little bit therein, are all perfectly interchangeable, setting those back and forth between the full desktop or laptop version and the iPad. But of course, that sort of goes a step further and becomes less necessary when you look at cloud collaboration. I've messed with this. It's so cool. You can have the exact same project open on the iPad and on a laptop or desktop or, multiple devices. Some of the things you can't do on an iPad, if you have that same project open on a laptop or desktop, you can do those things. Even some basic stuff like making compound or fusion clips on a timeline, or like syncing multiple video clips, that can all be done. And of course, those changes get pushed to the iPad version. This download is taking a while, and I am in the guest bedroom above my parents' garage because yes, I already left for Christmas, and hey, now I have to talk about Resolve on the iPad. So I'm gonna go walk down closer to the router, be right back. All right, we are back, downloaded, now back on my desktop, and hey, DaVinci Resolve is there. Like I said, I did have access to the beta version, which I deleted, so I believe this should be sort of the fresh start experience. Let's see, I will open up Resolve. I've also, pulled over this mouse, which I believe you should be able to see better. It would like to use Bluetooth, okay, probably for a speed editor. And hey, we are here in a blank project in Resolve. For big Resolve updates, sometimes they have that like what's new panel. On iPad, everything is new, so I guess it kind of makes sense that's not there. But I wasn't sure if there'd be some sort of welcome screen. But you can see, hey, we have cut, we have color. And also, if you don't super know where to start, come down to this little home icon in the corner. And this is your project library. You see I have nothing here now. You have your local area network, and then cloud as well, which I could always connect to and sync up some stuff there. Ooh, it's cool. I'll hop back to this just untitled project. I'll drag in some media. I pulled over some clips earlier. Let's see, I have a Halo clip, I have a clip for some video I did. Oh, I edited my last video in the beta. Open. Hey, this is the pop-up you see on desktop all the time. Do you want to change the project frame rate? Sure, I will do that. And then the normal process, create a new timeline. We'll just call this iPad. Done. Let me actually hop back into timeline settings. That is a frame rate of 60. Oh, the gameplay was probably recorded in 60. I'll drop that down to 30. Okay, boom. We've got a 1080-30 timeline ready to go. I can drop that Halo clip right down there. Now you saw it ask for Bluetooth permission. I have my speed editor here, and yeah, you can see the lights are already up there. And if I start scrubbing, speed editor working great. In the beta, they did have us download a specific update to Resolve, which let us update the speed editor to work with the iPad. I don't know if that will be something they will have to push or whether it will just work out the gate. If you have the speed editor and you pick up Resolve on the iPad, let me know. And from here, you're off to the races. Like I said, it's just the cut page. You don't have the media page for all of that stuff, and instead of the deliver page, you just have this quick export, which you also have on desktop, but here it's your only option. So you are a little limited here. I am curious to see what they will do here, or even if you are able to like customize these. I don't know. But let's talk some big considerations, mostly around footage and storage, especially when doing that cloud collaboration, but also editing on Resolve on the iPad in general. You do need the raw files you're working on to be accessible to the iPad. Makes sense. I've seen lots of people just plug in high-speed external devices, but depending on which iPad you get, you can probably have a good amount of storage there as well. Important to note, this does have a cache, so if you are familiar with the necessity of clearing out your render cache on desktop, it will be super valuable here as well, where you probably have likely somewhat more limited storage. And you can send files back and forth however you want. Google Drive and all that stuff, it has all those integrations. If I right-click, I can import media. It just pulls up this sort of default browser, and you can see you can link through Drive or Dropbox or other options. If you select footage from Drive, I believe it should copy it to local. It won't pull that directly from your drive, I believe. Also, tell me if I'm wrong there. But hey, you want to talk about some fun stuff? I'm gonna hop over to my drive here. And if I refresh this, I am going to grab and download this SSC iPad Starter Pack DRFX. If you have no idea what DRFX is, it's very cool. It's sort of what a lot of this channel is about. But just to prove what this will do, I'm gonna hop back to Resolve real quick. And right in my timeline, you have titles up here, all these default titles that are also in the full version. And then you have effects as well. Again, these super normal default ones. Super important to know that this is split between video, audio generators as well. So generators and titles, even though they're really similar on the desktop version, they are in two pretty different places here. And again, nothing too out of the ordinary, aside from the fact that, yeah, these work. And if you know, a lot of these, especially the titles and some of the effects, it uses the full power of Fusion. So though we don't have Fusion on the iPad yet, we can use the power of Fusion through these presets and plugins and effects. And that's what you can do with my free iPad starter pack. I'm gonna hop to Drive. I am going to grab this download, so I go open in. I am saving to files. And now I have that DRFX, and I am downloading it right to the location where it will need to go to just work. We have on my iPad, DaVinci Resolve, Fusion, templates. This is empty now, but if I just save this DRFX to that location, it should download super quick. It's super lightweight files. If I hop back to Resolve, I am in titles, and if I start scrolling down, you'll see some new options have popped up. Let me just go ahead and grab this basic 3D text. And by default, boom, big text on your screen. If I open up the inspector, I can change this up to be whatever I want. Hi, that can be done. I can scroll down and rotate this entire scene in 3D space. Hey, cool, 3D text on your timeline. That wasn't there before. I can get rid of that, see what else we got. I did toss in some cool, I recreated classic like Microsoft Word art, and now it's here on the iPad. I've also got this really nifty master countdown. This has a few different styles. This has a few different styles and other stuff. I'm also gonna mute this. But what's really cool about this countdown is that however long I stretch this countdown to be, that's how long the countdown is. It always just ends at 0 no matter how long it is. Really, really awesome. And those, again, are just the titles over in effects. In generators, we have speed lines if you want some like cool anime stuff. Boom, you got them. I also recreated the classic like bouncing DVD logo screensaver, which bounces around your screen, bounces off the corners, changes colors. Again, stretch that as long as you want it and it will keep going. And in just video effects as well, we have a simple RGB split, a really crazy screen pump effect that you can dial in using the actual BPM of your song, picture-in-picture preset, and then a wild sort of like meme stretch effect if you want to have some fun with edits right off the bat. Now, if you're overwhelmed by that, you should know this is kind of what I do. I have dozens of free presets like these that I've made for DaVinci Resolve, and the only reason this pack is somewhat limited now is that I have tested these to work on iPad. There are some presets that I don't know why they're currently working, some presets that need a few extra features to be added. If you're aware of my stuff, you know I use both the Fusion Clip functionality and the Fusion Overlay. I have some really cool tracking presets for like track text, track images, like auto lock stabilization. And those need that extra tool, so as soon as that is added to the iPad, you'll be able to do so much more, just like really cool tracking effects on the iPad using that tool. Those are ready to go, so as soon as that updates, I will push those out or make a video about something as well. And again, these were all built in the full Fusion page, but I can just save them up, ship them over to the iPad, drop them on clips, and they work because this software is running the Fusion page, it just doesn't have a tab for it. Obviously, I'm super excited about sort of this new frontier and bringing over all my past free. I have a couple like cool paid products as well, but I don't want to miss that just the fact it's Resolve at all on the iPad is really exciting. And they did say this is suited and tailored for M1 iPads or above, but it is available on previous gen iPads. I don't think they've super said what the limitations are on like iPad by iPad. I think previous gens might across the board be limited to 1080 timelines, and maybe like select effects like won't work in some of them. I'm not really sure. Ooh, let's check out one thing I wanted to check real quick. If I hop over to the color page, actually let me grab my different clip here. Just this raw footage of this video I recorded. I had access to the studio version for the beta, but since I downloaded this fresh, I believe I should be on the free version. So if I come over to like Magic Mask, oh, which it doesn't even show me. Oh, cool. Yeah, the Magic Mask option isn't even here. Let me hop over to MotionVFX, see if okay, here we go. I tried to pull up this spatial noise reduction, and we got this pop-up now saying this requires Resolve Studio. Again, for the iPad, it looks like if you bought it previously, you can restore that. You can say not yet. If I go to purchase, I'm not trying to brush. Oh no, it will just prompt you to instantly download it. Again, $95. I'm not gonna do that right now. But again, hey, that is an in-app purchase. It's just, you want it, click it, install it. I'm not sure how much that would actually need to update or whether it just like unlocks those features. But hey, not yet. That's cool. And wow, this is just the beginning. One, people will dive in and start to learn this. I'm sure there will be tons of videos from everyone. But I also really want to stress this is just the beginning for this platform. They didn't do anything new off the bat with this initial release. It's just the cut page and the color page as you know it. But I do expect dramatic changes to the cut page to roll out to beef this up as a standalone editor. Have you already grabbed DaVinci Resolve for the iPad? Do you plan on it? Are you using one of a newer M1 iPads or an older iPad? And which of my free or paid products would you also love to see on the iPad? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.